know the leader. Getting that while I'm on the. She's a keeper. No play burritos. Get to the pesos with amigos. I cannot with no zeros.
Don't you run out? No, I can't show you no love, baby. Yeah, I am a boss in the cut. Mayday, bubbles and these models. It's popping, I tip her. I skip her.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. A few moments ago, the Steeler offensive starters, including all-pro wideout Antonio Brown, were introduced. And they've got this crowd in a frenzy as they get set to square off with the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point. But, boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback, a former Blue Hen out of Delaware. It's Joe Flacco.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He's able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers. You're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. McCaffrey following the penalty. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On second down, McCaffrey. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves him still needing 11 here on 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
Hey, let's go! Double. East left, look.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. He leaves this one for Howard. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he's going to get this up to the 24-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage, so as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 54 yards. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they look at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get them in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. So now it's 3rd and goal. This Raven defense trying to keep him out of the end zone. Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
They run. It's Johnson. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Duke Johnson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Third down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
And I think Eifert may be in some pain. Staying down following that play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Now back to throw. He gets it left side to Johnson. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there at 22.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too. Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back to throw here. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Evan Ingram, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it? It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive. Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. McCaffrey on the counter. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield. And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. To pass, Flacco. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this is caught. It's Bryant, and it's a Steeler touchdown. Martavis Bryant, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 21-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. This is McCaffrey on the give. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. You might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Hey, let's go!
He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
This is Howard on 2nd down. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Ravens have got it. Johnson, the intended target. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Here's Coleman. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Brought down by the cornerback, William Jackson.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Going to throw right side here. Complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Michael Crabtree, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens cut into that lead. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Going deep here for Bryant. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And Eifert has it. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he gets it down to the 32. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Where is this play going? And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
He's thrown 1 interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does, and that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Tony Jefferson in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Flushed out right. And he whips that one incomplete there.
They tried to make something happen, but that one came up incomplete and really wasn't a good-looking throw.
Yeah, maybe even go as far as to call that a little ill-advised.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's the right phrase for it. Definitely ill-advised. Just wonder about his mechanics right now, you know, and that's the tough part. You do so much stuff in practice to make it repetitive, but it has to repeat under pressure, whether it's pressure from the defense or just the pressure of playing the game.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal, eluding the pressure right. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. It's their quarterback on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Steelers... are going to add on to their lead. Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. Throwing here on first down, Flacco. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Flacco off play action. Brought in left side by Snead. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. A big play that time for the Ravens. And even 40 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Oh, it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit. But Only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Ravens on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And again, it's Flacco to throw. And he's got Snead. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. Here's Flacco. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Once more, it's Flacco. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. He was trying to get it to Michael Crabtree there, and it's 3rd and short.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept him on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. On now is Kai Forbath to try the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Forbath will put this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely... had to enforce the field goal attempt that went through.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Back onto the field now comes the wideout Antonio Brown. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
They've been using him as a decoy, and effectively so. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. A big play there just before halftime. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as he'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Howard all alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal. Brown, the lone receiver, left. They're going to look to throw. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Tyreek Hill in the final seconds of the first half. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've come to half. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Oh, 360. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase.
And this is caught inside the 5. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 62 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the deep.
And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. It's their quarterback punching it in from a yard away. And the Steelers offense is running away with this one. Well, that was a quick hitter drive. They had the huge play to get him down near the goal line, and then they run it in. I don't know that the defense ever had a chance to catch their breath.
A lot of the time now when we see people hit big plays, and each team defines a big play their own way, 10, 15-yard gains. In this case, it was a huge gain. They often want to hurry up and go right away. Keep the momentum going, hit them again, and I think we just saw that there. The second play resulted in pay dirt.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Third down, Flacco from the gun. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
by the time we have to leave the booth. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make this a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
Eagle, eagle. 40, Mike, 40. Alpha, alpha.
Out of the gun now on third down. He is going to find Hill here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 29 yards on third down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. The improv act there, good for 9. And now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Antonio Brown, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Flacco here on 2nd down. Now a hit, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose.
Now, plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him.
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Myles Garrett in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He has been on his A game. We're in the 3rd quarter. He's already in search of touchdown pass number 5.
He's played so well that it's hard for me to take my eyes off of him, even when he's not on the field. I keep finding my eyes finding him on the bench in between series, wondering what he's going to do next. This has been a blast to watch him play the position.
He's been spectacular with those 4 touchdown passes.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Dumping it off for Johnson. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be second and about a yard. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it, escaping the pressure right. That's complete, right around the 8. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
He'll set up to throw. Steps away to his left. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
I know old school coaches used to just cringe when their quarterbacks weren't in the pocket throwing the ball. Whenever they were outside of it, you could just see them losing their mind on the sidelines. Nowadays, a lot of them like that. Defenses often get confused when the quarterback is scared.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. First and 10 here for Flacco. He's going to float this one deep right side. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Second and 10. Flacco once more. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Third down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Here's Sam Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Young to throw it. Flush to his right. And this one is incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And it's third down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On now, Kaiser, the punter, sending it away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Now it's Flacco. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard. And it's fourth. Here's Sam Cook now. He's been terrific so far. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food, because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
Caught left side by Hilton. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Johnson with a burst, a first down or more. And did he get in? No, down at the 1-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. They'll come out in the and he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jordan Howard, his 9th touchdown of the season. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one. Elliott good with a PAT. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. And that's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Incomplete on first down. Now Flacco on 2nd. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
A give to Howard. He'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll look to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
looking to throw. Nice footwork at the 25. This is Johnson. He's got it. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 23 yards on the play. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it.
Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Evan Ingram, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Flacco to throw again on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. 3rd down here.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Operating out of the gun. Flacco. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 38. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. C.J. Mosley coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got his man Hilton. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this.
Under pressure, down he goes. sacked at the 10. Tyus Bowser in there to get him for a loss of 5. They'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Toward the pylon, caught. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. On first and goal, Howard. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And the Ravens taking the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team.
Now a hit, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
You've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Not only the completion, but that pass also gives him the record for most passing yards in a single game. What a day.
That tells you that the completion percentage is really high. Yards per pass, really high. But what a fantastic day. A brand new record, and we were here to witness it.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal. Howard all alone in the backfield on second and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And that play's not going to get him in as he stopped right at about the line of scrimmage. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's third and goal at the 1. On third and goal, Howard. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This
but she's singing too.
Oh, she's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
First and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10. They look to throw on first and 10 with Flacco. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Flacco will take to the air again. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll go down at the 28. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. And again, it's Flacco to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here we go, 4th down, 4th quarter. Flacco, it finds Crabtree for the completion. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. That one looks like he'll throw here. Flush to his right. And going deep for Hill. And it's incomplete. Still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Steelers, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Cincinnati next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.